Our new partner who I'm really, really excited to announce we are working with. Super, super stoked. Thank you, Angie Huberman, for this connect. It's incredible. AG1 Athletic Greens. I've been using them for a while. I have them every morning on an empty stomach. Basically, take one scoop and you put it into a cup or glass or mug of 8 ounces of cold water. And this is all your greens for the day. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Every day I take this. It's so good for my digestion, my energy. It's simple. It's easy. I don't like taking a lot of vitamins. This has been really, really helpful for me. I've had a lot of stomach issues my whole life, and ever since I've been gluten-free and taking the AG1s, it's really helped me in my stomach in the mornings. I love it, and I'm so psyched that they're part of the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm sure a lot of people don't like eating greens, let alone drinking your greens, but I can tell you straight up, it's got a mild tropical taste, and the taste is actually really refreshing, and I really look forward to it each morning. Don't think it's just going to be just straight bland. It tastes really, really good, and it's good for you, so remember that. This one blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's incredible, just one scoop, especially for musicians who are vegans or just musicians in general who want to get those daily greens. You can get the packets. It's incredible. I just gave some to my friend Derek from Sepultura. He traveled the whole entire world this summer, and he had those every single day. He said it saved him. I bring AG1s with me when I travel. It helps me stay healthy. You know the deal. If you're on tour and you are a picky eater, but you need to have your greens, sometimes catering doesn't have greens. Sometimes you miss the catering. Sometimes you miss the backstage food. Sometimes it's too late after the show to go get food that you like. So if you just have a scoop of AG1s in your hotel room before you go to bed, or you're in the hotel room at night and you're starving and you want something healthy, boom, life changer. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with some convenient daily nutrition. That's all you need, one scoop in a cup every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. This is it. I'm super psyched. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit drinkag1.com/OLLC. That's drinkag1.com/OLLC. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. This is incredible. I love it. It's just basic greens. For me personally, this has changed my life tremendously. I'm not a junk food vegan. I don't eat a lot of fake meats, so I'm strictly greens. And this has been a wonderful, wonderful new addition to my life. So once again, visit drinkag1.com/OLLC. That's drinkag1.com/OLLC. Get 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's drinkag1.com/OLLC. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115. With the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. And if you want to get water, Liquid Death water, go to amazon.com. But for merchandise and other things that's not water, go to liquiddeath.com/Toby and get free shipping. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst, stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I got my brother from another mother in the kitchen. I haven't seen this guy in many, many years. We have to figure that out in a moment. When's the last time we saw each other? Mr. Jason Navarro, thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Do people call you Jay Suicide too and shit like that? Or?
No. I never got Jay Suicide.
You know how people call like people's names like Freddie Madball or...
Jay Navarro.
All right, sick. I like that.
That's it, man.
Because there's a lot of people that used to go by that. It's interesting.
Nah, man. I've never had to have a nickname.
Okay.
I'm that badass.
Or just like your band name. When was the last time we saw each other?
Ooh, man.
It seems like a long time. It's like over 10 years.
It's got to be,
shit.
man. I feel like the last time I saw you was like either at the Henry Fonda Theater
when I was working there,
right? Or
yeah.
Or I swear I came down to see you play with Hazen Street.
Oh, shit.
I feel like...
Yeah. I'll probably, yeah.
I think that I do, man. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Was it Hazen? It might have been Hazen,
Hazen Street. Yeah.
Well, I think that was the last time, man.
Okay.
I feel like it was.
Long time, man.
Is that right?
And then when did we meet? Did we meet in the Warped Tour?
We did, man. We did meet on
What
the Warped
year was
Tour.
that?
I don't know.
The Warped Tour was so sick back then, man.
It was super rad.
Such a game changer for bands.
Yep. I think, yeah, because my wife was out with me too. And so Moon and Sander were kind of hanging out. That's kind of how we met. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Something like that. And my wife doesn't usually like anybody.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, for the listeners, obviously you have a really amazing family, six kids.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible, man.
Yeah.
And you still look young too. You're looking good, man.
My dreadlocks are falling out.
They are. How long have you had the dreads for now?
I don't know, man. I actually just cut them. They're like down to my butt. They're
really?
starting to get in the way.
Wow.
Getting caught in the door. You have to put them up to use the bathroom. Or, I'm working construction. Like sometimes I'm grinding concrete too. That's like you got to go from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's like.
Do they trip on your dreads and how you look at your job?
I work for a lot of rich, like white people out in the suburbs.
Okay.
And it's like they kind of trip out a little bit. There's this other straight edge dude that works with me. His face is all tattooed.
Oh
and stuff.
shit.
But he's like a big teddy bear, and like at first, like people are like, "Whoa, you got the Jackson inmates coming out here, like working for you," to my boss, and then they talk to like Todd, and he's like the sweetest dude. So
that's awesome.
They get over it pretty.
I mean,
quick.
there's so many people with face tats too now. It's like not like a Back in the day, it was super shocking.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like Vinny Stigma with the neck tattoo of like the 80s. I was like, holy shit. Now it's just like normal for us. It seems normalized.
Absolutely. I remember seeing, I think the first neck tattoo I ever saw was Rat Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Being in Detroit, I was like, oh, man.
Get his throat and shit, like the Misfit skull.
Yeah.
Damn, that's hard.
That's the first time I remember seeing it.
Okay, you're right. So you got your Rat Bones in Detroit. I got my Stigma in New York. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I remember thinking, whoa.
And you've always been, since I know, and you're always like working.
Yep.
Like even with the band, you never stopped. Like you have a really great work ethic.
Yeah. I come from Detroit,
Yeah.
It's blue collar. That's what you do.
Did you start working at a young age?
I did start working. I mean,
Your first job, you remember?
Yeah. Well, my first job was definitely paper routes, right?
Yeah.
And I used to actually do a paper route with my abuela, my grandma, over by Herman Garden Projects.
Wow.
That was my paper route with her.
Okay.
And I was a really little kid, so I would do it all summer with her for the Detroit News, and then I had my own route in my neighborhood too. But so that was like at a young age, I was doing that.
And you have siblings in your family?
I have two sisters, but I was way older when my mom got remarried. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we grew up together that much, or hanging out?
Yeah. So things got bad at home when they were pretty young, so I split. So that was How
old were you when you left?
Oh shoot! Sorry, coffee burp. I think I left
super young.
Yeah, no, I was probably 17 or 18.
Okay, that's normal.
Things are getting crazy.
Yeah,
my dad got into heroin, and
man.
my mom was a very mean alcoholic. So I kind of like. I got to get out of here, man. I had my other grandma was just living with me too on my mom's side because she lost her house, and they come from a different era of weird. I remember my friend Jelani was over, and she said some weird stuff like that wasn't cool.
Okay,
and it was weird because my dad's Mexican, right? But she said some stuff. And my friend Jelani, he's black, and she said some shit, and I was just kind of like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get to know my sisters too well until now.
Yeah.
The past, I've gotten to know them as grown women.
Yeah.
So.
And how were you as a kid? A wild kid?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Were you going to school?
I did. I did get thrown out of school.
Fuck.
I had to go finish at a different high school.
Just for like fights or whatever?
I was selling drugs, and they knew it.
Wow.
And
what kind of drugs back then?
Just acid and mescaline and stuff like that. And they tried anyway to get me out of that school, and they finally found a loophole to kick me out.
Yeah.
I mean, that principal even had me like arrested for skateboarding on property.
Wow.
They had really good concrete benches.
So how old is it? So did you graduate and stuff?
I did. I finished at another high school, and it's weird because my high school is always like the one I got kicked out of. Like, oh, the reunion's this year. Are you coming? And I'm like, my diploma is not from that high school. I got kicked out. I finished.
Now you want me back?
Yeah, and I've never gone back.
Did you? Were you getting into skateboarding super young too?
Oh yeah. Absolutely, man.
Did that come hand in hand with like punk rock and stuff too?
Absolutely.
It was a soundtrack.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was, dude. I remember my first skateboard. My mom skated. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man.
In the 70s?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Pushing around in the iron wheels, man.
Wow.
Steel wheels. And so she bought me one of those little plastic Kmart pusher bendy boards, with the clear red wheels, clear plastic. And I was pushing around we lived at a low income housing apartment complex once we moved into the city. And I was like trying to figure out, I could picture in my head, like there's got to be a way to ride off the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
I could ride up, lift up the front end, then lift up the rear end. This is probably 1983,
Damn.
84, 85, something like that. And this kid comes pushing down the road, and he's got this big board, and he's just like the total stereotypical 80s skater, like checkerboard colored Vans, high tops, flip brim painter cap.
Sick.
He comes riding by, and I'm like, hey, what? Like, where did you get that board? And he flips it up, and it says Agent Orange on the bottom. I'm like, oh, like, is that like the Vietnam stuff? He's like, nah, it's a punk band. I was like, what? And then he like skated off. I was like, whoa.
That was a Vision board, right? Agent Orange Vision?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, that was the first time I was like, what the fuck is punk rock?
Those boards were so big, dude.
Yeah.
It's big and flat.
Yep.
Like triple the size of those little plastic Hobie boards or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So you got deep into it.
Yeah, that was it.
And then punk rock too around that
My
time?
first board was a Sims Kamikaze.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
So you're skating, and you're going to school, and then how do you find, what kind of music are you listening to before you even find like punk rock?
Oh, like Michael Jackson,
Sick.
Wham.
Sick. Classics.
Yeah. It's funny because like in my household, like they were listening to punk. My mom and dad, they're listening to the Stooges and MC5
Damn,
and stuff
that's
like
cool.
that, right? But to me, it was like, it's my parents' music.
Yeah.
So like African
interesting.
Bambaato was a big deal. You go to the local like community swimming pool, and like the lifeguard would be playing like African Bambaato or like Nucleus or something.
Nucleus.
So it was a cross between horrible pop or that,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn. And then so what's your deal when you graduate? Like, what are your goals when you want to get out of school? Did you already start a band while you're in school or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was doing the Suicide Machines.
In high school?
Yeah, well, at the end of high school, I started the Suicide Machines my senior year.
Would this be your first band?
Yeah, I was supposed to graduate. No. My first band was like a metal band. I was the only dude who wasn't metal.
Sick.
You know what I mean? Like a DRI sticker on my bass and was a skater.
But crossover.
But none of the other punk rockers, I wasn't cool enough for all the other punk bands.
Mm-hmm.
I was only going to see local bands, and then I kind of just became the go-to guy after that. Like,
Yeah.
once all the punks and hardcore people like in Detroit were like, oh, well, Jay's all right. I gunned for a lot of people. I played bass for like Screaming Bloody Leper Children, which was like a crazy crust punk band, like
Sick.
Charged Hair, and Cold as Life, obviously. I played bass for them, and just
Legends.
a lot of, I just played for a lot of people because, they're like, oh, well, Jay will do it.
When did you start playing? Were you like self-taught?
Yeah, yep. My grandma on my mom's side, who said that stuff that wasn't cool, saw me in a bad situation at the time, knowing that my family's situation was bad. It wasn't good, and she felt bad and was like, I gotta give this kid some direction or some sort of like outlet, because I was getting really out of control, and she knew I liked punk and music, and I'd been caught at underage at bars drinking at like 13 years old.
Wow.
And she was like, I'll buy you an something. I was like, okay. And so she bought me a bass, and my dad, being the sketchball he is like, well, you need an amp. I'm like, yeah. So we go to this dude's house, and it's just packed full of stolen stuff, like to the brim, basement to the living room, just stereos, amplifiers,
Wow.
TVs, all kinds of musical equipment, stuff you'd see in houses. And I don't know what sort of favor you owed my dad, but he's like, take what you want. So
Wow.
I took a super big bass amp.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You started playing.
Yeah, man. First band was a metal band, though.
Yeah, what do you guys call it? You remember the name?
Intravenous de Milo.
Sick.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was like a...
What did it sound like?
like
Can you find it online? Anything? Recordings?
no. I remember we covered like Death, Zombie Ritual. Like, it was death metal.
Yeah.
I wasn't really cut out for it. It wasn't like... I do like death metal, I guess, some of it. But
Yeah.
like, I was pretty deep into punk at that point. It was over.
Yeah. What was like the first kind of punk stuff that really connected you?
Circle
Classics?
Jerks.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Suicidal.
Yes.
Black Flag, of course. But then, like, really quick being a skater, I started dipping into, like, SNFU and...
How about the skate rock tapes?
Oh, they're amazing.
Faction,
Skate Rock.
JFA, Big Boys.
Well, the Big Boys are one of my favorites.
Aggression.
Yeah. Volume 5 is probably my favorite one.
Okay.
It's got
There was so many of those, man.
dude. It's got like Dehumanizers, Subhumans from Canada.
Subhumans.
Yeah, from Canada though, and then it's got like SNFU on it, and it's got oh my god,
SNFU was incredible.
yeah, Klaus Grabke's band's on it. The old Santa Cruz skater.
That's right.
I have the actual.
He's still around
like
too.
8 days a week.
8 days a week.
Like had that kind of stuff on it, and
did you ever see SNFU?
oh yeah,
Me too. Incredible frontman, Chai. Oh my god.
insane.
Pretty legit, badass,
Yeah,
man. Like
yeah.
a lot of like HR vibes too on stage.
Yeah, I saw him in 88 or 89.
Same, probably back then.
St. Andrews Hall.
I know when this Wanted to Play album came out.
Yeah, yeah.
The other one was crazy too. Like Smells Like Fish. What the second one was called? It was interesting.
Swearing you'll catch no
Catch
fish.
No Fish.
Yeah.
That was an interesting record too.
It's great.
But he was so sick.
Dude, phenomenal. I actually got to play with him not too long before he passed away. I did this not solo band. I did this kind of like pop punk band called Break Anchor for a while, and we went to London, Ontario to open for him acoustically. And he was playing acoustic.
Oh, wow.
And I sat down and ate some French fries with him and yapped with him. And
wow.
Yeah, man.
He was doing SNFU songs acoustic?
Yeah.
Sick.
It was really cool.
Damn, we're lucky to see that, man.
It was interesting, man. It was cool.
So when you're in school, so what's your goals when you graduate? Is it to do music full time, or did you have a job at that time?
So I did check into college and
check in.
Yeah, because I checked out pretty quick. So I'd already done my first tour with the Machines, so that was probably 93 or 94. And we went like all the way out west, and we're playing like Gilman Street and stuff like that.
Sick.
And I was just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then we knew the following summer we were going to do like 6 or 7 weeks with that band Bucko 9, who's still friends of mine to this day.
6 or 7 weeks is crazy to think about.
In the U.S.
Right now to think about that. But it was nothing to us back then.
Yeah.
6-8 weeks, whatever. Like it didn't.
Getting paid nothing, going into grocery stores, stealing black beans and tofu and making sandwiches with like mustard.
Oh, yeah. Touring now is way different, but yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But just that many weeks away.
Yeah. So, I dropped out of college and.
Did you have a major in college?
Yeah, I was doing. I wanted to be like a nutritionist.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was the initial thought, and then I got so hooked on just wanting to live the vagabond life in a van, and I was ready to go.
Who's Jack Kevorkian?
Jack Kevorkian? Are you serious?
Well, I'm saying.
Are you saying it so these people know on the podcast?
Yeah, that's the original name of the band.
Yeah. It is. So
for the listeners,
he was the first person to. He was in and out of jail constantly in Michigan. He did assisted suicide.
Yeah.
So if you're, terminally sick,
it's a big deal. It's crazy. Yeah.
And you wanted out, and he wanted out in an easy way for you to pass. Like he would do it.
Yeah.
And he went in and out of jail, and it was an interesting way to look at, terminal illness.
Is that still happening now, you think? Some places probably. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man. All I know is like.
But that was like crazy back then when I was.
Yeah, and if that's your choice and you're that sick, and maybe that's your choice, your decision. I don't know. It's a heavy conversation.
It
to have,
is.
And so we're so inspired by him doing that, and a lot of people also don't know, like Bruce Springsteen sings that song "Born to Run," and he talks about cars in Detroit being made and calling them suicide machines. Yeah,
interesting. I didn't even know that.
That's so we tied the two in together.
Wow,
it was Jack Kevorkian and the Suicide Machines.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah,
I think he's changed it to suicide. Yeah.
Speaking of Bruce Springsteen, the Stupids, "Baby We're Born to Skate." They change all the words.
Oh shit! Yeah, the
right?
Stupid, yeah. Damn, that's some deep shit right there. I didn't know that about the song and the name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So
are you just doing that full time, like right from the jump, or are you still working? And
oh yeah. We'd come home, get jobs, quit the jobs, go back out. So
was there a moment in Suicide Machines where it was just full time and you weren't working a regular job?
Yeah, there was a few years
because
for
we were
sure.
too busy, right?
Dude, we were gone like 9 months out of the year. You know what I mean? You've done it.
Yeah, but like you put the demo out, you have the first records. There's so many things. The first split with the Rudiments, and then the Hollywood Records deal, and so much. I feel like you guys were like nonstop.
We
Because
were.
you make the record, you go into that whole cycle thing that everybody does.
Yeah, we started, I would say, I mean, we would still come back, maybe work a small side job or something, but like, yeah, at one point, I don't even know. I saw Detroit, I think, like 2 days out of like 9 months.
Damn.
You know what I mean? It would just be stuff like that. It was a grind.
Yeah. Were people tripping on the Hollywood Records deal back then? Was that a thing?
Oh, yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
You sellouts. Come on, I mean, dude.
It's just so crazy that was such a big deal back then. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the same shit. Like, it was all about the label.
Yeah,
It didn't matter if the record was good or not.
Yeah.
It wouldn't you wouldn't even get a chance. They wouldn't give it a chance because of the label.
That was the way it was.
It's crazy. None of that shit matters no more.
Yeah.
Because it's not even on the label. It's just online. But back then it was such a big, yeah.
Oh, it was.
So people flipped. People
Yeah.
were tripping on you
If
guys.
there's any young people listening here, it was a thing.
Yeah.
It was weird.
But like not really in real, same as it is now, but not really in real life. Like message boards, all that online stupid shit. But it really wouldn't affect your performance or people come to see in real life. Right?
Yeah.
It was just, it seems like it was a lot, but it probably was
Dude,
a few people. Who fucking knows?
I had people giving me crap for wearing Nikes on stage back then.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was heavy.
But that was the thing, too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Punk was stupid.
Yeah, if something that's supposed to be so open-minded and everybody's welcome
Mm-hmm.
became so judgmental.
Oh, yeah.
And like, had
And I
this-
was judgmental at times, too.
Of course, me too. I had my like punk blinders on for many, many years.
Yeah.
Like fuck any other type of music, but this is it. Skateboarding punk,
Yep.
fuck pop music.
Yep.
But then I fucking realized that like there's so many things out there, and it's like, and that's why I love the hardcore now because it's so many different influences.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of everything in your life. Man.
Yeah. So you didn't give a shit about what people were saying back then, or it did affect you at all?
No, my favorite thing was someone made a board game and threw it on stage while we were playing it. And it was like how the suicide machines sell out. There's like fake money, and they threw the whole board game on the stage. I still have it somewhere.
Did you acknowledge it on stage and say something? Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone else threw up a shirt that had like the dancing guy that we have, which is
Mhm.
Jack working really. And they put like dollar signs in his eyes and shit. And then they wrote the sellout machines. Like they printed it really nice.
Wow.
And I still have that too. I kept it. I thought it was rad.
Damn.
So
The time and effort people would take out of their day and lives to make things because they want to hate on shit is interesting to me.
that's why I kept it.
Yeah. It's like you went out of your way to print that, pay for that to
Yeah.
make that.
100% someone printed that shirt, and I love it. So
Fuck.
I still have it.
So when do you start your family? Is that what part of your life is that?
Well, I never, look, I was definitely getting to be a dead end kid. You know what I mean? It was definitely like
You're wilding out.
I was wilding out, man, and I just thought, well, I'm definitely not going to live past 25 like most of us punks back then thought because we were all the weirdos and the crazies.
Yeah.
And some of us were messed up, and that's just the way it was. And I was dipping into things I shouldn't have been dipping into, and I thought, well, I'll be dead before I'm 25 anyways. And then I met Sandra, and I was like, oh crap.
Shout out to Sandra, man.
I never wanted kids
Yeah.
ever.
Because you were a
Ever.
big kid anyway. We're all big kids.
Yeah, I was a big kid, but I was also like, I knew I wasn't, father material.
Mm.
And then I met her, and I was like, well, I want to have kids with this person. She is a great human being. And,
Yeah.
And that was that.
And that's like right around the band's like really kind of going too. Like,
Yes, she went on tour with me quite a bit.
yeah.
So
And she loved it.
she hated it. She's sleeping on the van floor and all that stuff. I mean, she lived the hard life. It wasn't, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of wives and like girlfriends that really, it's interesting to me. I see people like the girls like go after the guy in the band, right? Then they get with him. Then they're like, I don't want you to do this anymore. I met you through the band. I loved your band, but now don't do it no more. I can't handle this shit. You're going away. But some girls that like ride or dies, like your girl came out, my wife sold merch for like 10 years. There's a certain type of woman, wife, girlfriend, whatever, that can really just be down for it.
Well, what was rad about Sandra was the first time I ever met her, she was like, your band sucks. And I was like, wow, you're mean.
Yeah.
But I was like, I kind of like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
no, she did not like the Suicide Machines.
Wow.
So,
But she supported you in your fucking big dreams and running around like,
yeah. Well, there was no real dream to the Suicide
not
Machines.
dreams, but you still get to like run around and play music still in your 50s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? We still look the way we look. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're still like kind of big kids playing music, and
Yeah, well,
we have responsibilities at home.
true. But this is the culture we grew up in. This is
Yeah.
our culture, right, man? It's a culture.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing.
It is. It's crazy we're still doing it, still playing, and still, I don't know, man,
Yeah.
skateboarding, and it just really keeps you young, like doing shit you love. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, man.
It's 100% a culture. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Maybe some of it isn't in our world, but like the people who are in it because they believe in it or they believe in what most of this is sort of about.
Yeah.
You know, which it's so vast now in what any of the belief systems are. But like, you know, it's a culture, man. It's a lifestyle or a culture, however you want to brand it.
Did you think you'd still be doing this like right now? It's crazy. Because you were saying you thought you'd be dead by like fucking 25. So
right.
Like,
no.
Now you're 50.
I didn't.
It's crazy.
Did I ever think I would change? No. I never thought I'd change.
Yeah.
You know, and I still really haven't.
Yeah.
So.
Just a dad, you said, you know, his responsibilities, but still.
Yep.
Then you have your kids, and the kids are like, then we have these ethics that we grew up on from the punk rock heroes like Kevin Seconds for me, Ian MacKaye, Milo, Verbal Assault, these other bands. I had no father figure as well, like you. Yeah. They look up to these people in their lyrics, and then we become parents, and then like those are our go-to guys as we were kids. It's interesting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it. I mean, all of it draws from a lot of things, right? Like I never would have became a vegetarian if it wasn't for hardcore punk.
Yeah.
You know, at the time I was almost homeless, and one of my friends was a devotee. And he's like, just come to the temple, get some free food on Sundays. You know what I mean? And they would see that I was living pretty hard, and they'd give me like 3 days worth of food and, you know, and to-goes and stuff. And, you know, I would have, you know, gone because my friend wouldn't have become a devotee because he didn't, you know, because he listened to Youth of Today or Shelter 108 or something, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how, so that part,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I think a lot of us take a little bit of everything into our culture from other things, or at least I think most people try to take the good things.
Yeah.
There's the you know, the dead end destruction, self-destructive, narcissistic punks, but like
there's
a lot but maybe there's some good fuck the system ideas from them too, right?
Totally.
Like, but I think most people try to draw the best thing from all of these little ideas and bring it into our culture, which is punk and hardcore. You know?
And that's what I feel like there's like the fuck the world, fuck the government, fuck your parents, and then there's like the other shit like let's fix the world, let's save the animals.
That was me.
Let's be drug free. Let's think straight. And there's all these different versions of.
I felt I could save the world.
Yeah.
I was the, you know, naive and young and just like, wow, we can change it, you know?
Yeah.
Which you just change yourself, you know?
But it's interesting how the world has changed as far as veganism and vegetarianism, plant-based and all that now. How it's like, it's insane.
It is insane.
Like just touring, there's options everywhere.
I hated stealing from like a little mom and pop nutritional store, and I'd be on tour to get tofu.
Yeah.
But I had no money.
Yeah.
I couldn't survive. I couldn't sustain myself on stealing anything from normal supermarkets, which I did usually.
Yeah.
You know.
But you were surviving, yeah. How long have you been vegetarian for now?
I started toying around with it probably 90, 91. I had moments where I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
It was hard back then touring too to maintain.
Yeah, I remember. Well, so I was pretty good. And like the first time I ever went to Japan, I was like, I'm never going to eat this kind of food or this culture again. I'm just going to eat everything and just check it out once. And that was probably 96, but that's really the only times I was eating meat.
Yeah.
Right around that same, I think that same time that I had gone to Japan, I think one night Fletcher was making, they ran out of stuff to make daiquiris or drinks.
Yeah.
And they started throwing hot dogs in the blender.
Wow.
And we made daiquiris out of hot dogs. So I think that was the same year.
That sounds horrifying.
It was,
But it sounds like some Fletcher shit.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But
wow.
But you know, that was probably the same year I went to Japan. That was the only other time I've like really dipped back into ever eating meat, and I don't know.
Long time, man.
Yeah, almost 30 years.
Anybody in your family vegetarian? Like
all
kids?
of them. They are all raised vegetarian.
Wow.
I have a couple of vegans.
Damn, that's
they
amazing.
They do that on their own. I don't do the vegan trip. I still eat cheese once in a great while.
So many kids are. That's amazing, man.
A couple of my kids are vegan, and you know, all 6 of them raised vegetarian
and homeschooled too. You said, right?
Homeschooled.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it blew my mind when my eldest turned down U of M, Michigan, to go to Wayne State to become a lawyer. So, yeah, props to Sandra. I didn't teach him. I'm the idiot, right? Like, that's all Sandra. That's not me.
I always. Yeah, the wives hold it down. It'd be like, I'd be on tour for the 6 weeks feeling super guilty. Then I get home, and my wife was like, here you go. Like, I've been doing all this. And then, like, let's go to the movies. Let's go do this. She's like, oh, you're the fun guy. I'm like the serious one. I have to, like, have the rules and the structure. Then I come home with this guilt. Like, let's go do everything fun. And it's like trying to have that balance, you know? But you have 6, so that's
it's hard, man.
Any of your kids into music? Like playing music?
When my youngest daughter wants a drum kit, she's pretty into. I mean, they all like you know, my son Cash loves 21 Pilots and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So some of them do.
Yeah.
Are
they turning you on to new music too?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes for sure. It's funny, like you know how it is. Like it's cool because I saw Max drumming with you. That's sick.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
You know, I mean, my kids are just like, whatever. Dad's music's whatever.
They don't fuck with Suicide Machines?
No punk. It was funny because they came to one of those last couple Warped Tours we played in Detroit, and they were like, Dad, like everyone knows you. Everyone knows your band. They like your band?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know. They have no idea.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
My son turns me on like crazy, like mumble rap, and we went and saw like Travis Scott, all these different groups and stuff, and he's opened my mind to it. Tyler, the Creator, and all these other artists.
Tyler, the Creator's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, very cool.
It's interesting when your kids turn you on to stuff.
Yeah. It was funny though, because my eldest daughter did like Green Day.
That's cool.
And I surprised her one day. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Green Day." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I go up to the box office and I'm like, "Hey, I should be on the guest list." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on Against Me's guest list." Yeah, they put me on the list, and I'm like, keeping my fingers crossed she's gonna love Against Me. So I took her to see Green Day, and she's like, "Nah, she didn't like Against Me." I was like, "Oh God," just trying to hook her.
But at least Green Day too.
Yeah. Well, Green Day's great. But it was, that was about the only punk band I think any of my kids, any of them like.
And she found it on her own kind of, right?
Yeah, she did.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like when like my son's heard a bunch of bands growing up, and then a couple months ago I got in the car, he's listening to a Judge song, which he's never really cared about, and seen them. It doesn't care. He knows Mike, but not like, he doesn't care.
Right.
I was like, what's up with this? Oh, this song fucking slaps. This song's sick. I'm like, really? You like Judge? He's just playing in the car. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, and you just got really excited.
Yeah, it was like a cool moment because like he refound it himself.
That's cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because he loves death. He loves crazy shit like Fit for an Autopsy. He loves like so many crazy, like really fast death metal type things that we never liked, me and Moon.
Right.
Like he grew up listening to every type of music except for that. And then he found that was his thing.
Yeah, it's a thing,
Slayer and like all this other stuff, and Fit for a Cowboy, not Fit for a Cowboy, something for a cowboy, Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah.
All this crazy, crazy shit.
Tech metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
That I never really could understand. But now I love Slipknot now because of him.
Copy.
Like I would never have gave that a chance.
Yeah, actually, my youngest daughter likes Slipknot.
Then he took.
That's why she wants to play drums.
I saw him live. Jay's amazing.
I saw him on Ozfest.
Yeah, I seen him live, and then they're fucking incredible live, dude.
Yeah, I walked out on it. I thought it was horrible.
But there's some albums that have melody and shit. Because I'm a melody guy. I'm not like a really scream guy.
Word.
You're a melody person too, it seems, right? You
I'm
like
both.
Everything. Yeah.
When I did Hellmouth, it was nothing but screaming.
Yeah.
And then, but with the Machines, it's melody. Break Anchor's melody. The Traders is melody. For sure, man.
Left in Room, was that another one too?
Yeah, just play guitar for that one.
You have so many groups you were doing, man. So many things you were doing.
Yeah, man. I like all kinds of music, right? I can't
know.
stick to the same genre because I like it all.
I love that you did that, and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some things you can't just do with Suicide Machines.
Yeah, man. I need it all.
Yeah.
If I was good at, rhyming, I'd do hip hop, but I'm not. So
I talked about that yesterday with Jorge. We love hip hop so much, but we never tried to rhyme because we respect it so much too.
I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can have like some rhythm, rhyming kind of lyrics in our punk songs. Mabel has that fucking bounce
they got
anyway.
The bounce, man.
But like, they never really tried to
Mabel.
rhyme on it. It's like, it's different.
Yeah.
That's the one like genre that I love so much that I would never try to rhyme. Even though I sing along to shit, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
In Hazen Street, we had some kind of rhyming stuff, but it wasn't like straight hip hop.
Right.
So
That's true. Yeah, you did.
So that's the one genre you really wouldn't try to do.
Right.
How about some country shit for you?
It would have to be like old school sounding country. I do what I would really like to do is actually take some lessons on how to play like jazz guitar.
Oh yeah.
I like jazz too, and there's a lot of chords that we use playing reggae with the Traders. That's almost jazz chords at times.
Yeah.
So I would love to do jazz, but I don't even get it. I love listening to it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as hip hop. I'd probably just ruin it.
Yeah.
Or I have too much respect for it, but I love it. I think it's so good. Same thing with hip hop, man. Like jazz and hip hop. If I could only do that and do it well, I would love to. But that's just, that goal is unattainable. I think as much as I'd like to think I can set a goal and hit it, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
And Suicide Machines, she had such a great run. So many records, so many tours, songs on the radio, videos, all that stuff. The ending of Suicide Machines was just everybody's kind of burnt on touring and just.
Well, when
it's like a mutual thing, or just everybody's just like.
So it's a long, horrible story.
Okay, that's all right.
Nobody liked the guitar player.
Okay.
And he burnt a lot of bridges.
Okay. I think I knew this. Yeah,
and he finally burnt the bridge with me, and I was done. And when we reformed the Suicide Machines, a good friend of mine who is an anarchist and an activist was popped by an infiltrator that was a Fed undercover. And so we got the Machines back together to pay this really good lawyer for him to get him out of trouble with the feds, which he's still in trouble, but he didn't end up having going to prison. So we reformed.
Okay.
But when we reformed, the drummer of my band Hellmouth was in this great punk ska band back in the day called Bottomed Out, and I knew he could play guitar great, and so we did this
with this guy,
with him playing guitar, and he's like a friend of ours.
It's like 2009 or
something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And he was the drummer of my hardcore band, so it was like he was already family.
Yeah.
And so we got it back together, and I don't know, man. We just started writing songs with him, and and it turned out kind of good.
Yeah.
So.
And the other guy didn't try to come back or nothing, nah?
No, he was a little mad at us to keep going without him. But I mean, he lives halfway across the world, and I couldn't keep people in the band anyways. Everyone was wondering why so many people would leave with the Suicide Machines.
You were holding it down, man.
No one could get along with our guitar player, and finally, I'd had enough too. And that was that.
Yeah, was it the first time you really just wanted to quit, or did you want to quit any time before that? Just getting burnt on it.
No, I never really got burnt out.
Yeah.
I just, it's how it is. You're stuck with a lot of people with a lot of different a lot of different personalities, and his personality just wasn't great,
Yeah. Was it St. Andrews Hall when you guys got back?
No. We did a bunch of shows in one night. We played like a squat, a really big club, and then to raise money for my friend Steve.
Yeah.
And then we just decided, and then a friend of ours was like, "Hey, will you play our We're doing they're getting married."
Okay.
And so they did like a party in this bar. They're kind of like engagement party.
Okay.
So we played like the engagement party in the bar, and then we're kind of like, you know what? Let's try to write some songs. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really working. And then people started seeing that we were doing that, and they started calling Stormy, and we're like, "Hey, will they play these shows?" Ooh. And we started playing shows again, and then a couple years down the road, we started writing, and it turned out good.
Wow.
So,
shout out to Stormy, man.
Yes.
Fucking legend.
She's a great, great human being.
So. Been with her for a long time, man, huh?
I have. I had to fire her last year, and it was really hard.
Oh, wow.
It was very hard to do. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do probably in my life, to be fair, because I love her a ton, but things just weren't working out between us and her.
Yeah, she fired us.
Yeah.
Well, because she Rancid got us a booking agent after our first 7-inch. We had 2 songs out. They're like, "Yo, Stormy's going to book you." We had nothing to do. We had just 2 songs. So we weren't ready. We were such babies. She really fired us. Like, "I'm going to let you guys go until you get your first album out." We never came back with her.
Yeah.
But it was really nice they did it, but we had nothing going on. We're like...
Yeah. She's awesome. She's a great person.
Still in the game, man.
I do love her. I mean,
DIY, bro.
There's nothing negative about it. Just things weren't working out anymore, and so...
Did you have different managers throughout your career and all kinds of shit like that?
We had one, and we fired him because he was crooked and not good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't mind that fire.
That's not bad. One out of this many years. We had so many, bro. We got caught up in that shit. Can I use your bathroom? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
right, sorry.
People do this all the time. Yeah.
All right, cool. Just give me 1 second.
All right, piss break. You always talk about stomach shit, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had stomach issues my whole... I don't know why we're talking about this. Who cares? But I had stomach issues my whole life. I carried toilet paper with me. It was like a thing.
That's the worst with touring.
With touring. So then about a year ago, I cut gluten out of my diet. And my stomach's been totally normal, not bloated. I don't have to go to the bathroom all the time. I thought being a vegetarian, vegan, you had to go to the bathroom like 700 times a day. It's not true.
Think you had celiac?
Yeah, I think I had celiacs, but I just didn't go to the doctor. But I did an 18-day juice cleanse and then reintroduced all these foods like no fake meat for me anymore. None of that overprocessed shit. Probiotics type shit, yeah. So now my stomach's totally normal, man.
Yeah, I find it funny that people think it's cool to eat fake meat. I mean, it's cool because it tastes kind of different for the day, but most vegetarians who were around when we started it was like, you're making your own food from scratch because it's just better.
Just beans, rice.
Yeah, everything.
But what the fuck was kale? What was kale and quinoa back then? What was it around for us?
It's fake. Someone engineered it.
We just had tofu and all that other shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking. It's crazy how everything's changed like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
When you guys have like the songs on the radio and stuff like that, and shit starts blowing for you guys, how does that change for you as far as like your life?
Well, I mean, I didn't.
Because from a van to a bus, just all that.
It was stressful. We were in vans almost the whole entire run of the machines. We
probably Warped Tour bus, though.
Well, only Warped Tour buses.
Yeah.
You know, because you could do.
It's
We did
so
the first
expensive.
couple. We did the first couple in a van, and it was.
We
just
did
like,
too, and it
yeah,
went
I remember.
all kinds of shit.
It's too hard.
Hard, bro.
So, yeah,
It wasn't made for that.
Yeah, it's first world problems, right? But it
Yeah.
was not easy. Like
Yeah.
it was just not easy to do.
Yeah.
It was brutal, and I don't know, man. So I didn't. You know, what's funny is people ask me this all the time. Like I didn't notice we were already doing the DIY thing for so long.
Yeah.
That, you know, we were having like 400 or 500 kids a night at all of our shows. Usually, it didn't matter. We were already kind of on our way to doing it well before the major label thing.
Yeah.
And the major label thing happened, and nothing really happened, even with songs being on the radio and MTV. And then
was it those
Tony
records
Hawk,
big?
man.
Tony Hawk,
Hawk Pro Skater.
Game changer.
Dude, like overnight, we were going from 500 to 1,000 people at our shows, and I guarantee you it had to be because of that video game.
That was the shit back then. Beyond that's huge.
Yep.
Such a big deal.
It was bizarre, man. Like overnight, it was like, it legitimately was overnight. Like all of a sudden, that video game came out, and all of a sudden, it was like, there's so many people at our shows. It was bizarre.
That's crazy because that's pre-internet too.
Yeah.
So that's just straight up a video game hearing the song.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy.
So you felt that change.
Yeah, absolutely.
So bigger than any single or video
Yep.
play, any of that.
100%.
Wow. And that just stayed like that for a while, and just like then.
Yeah, it got bigger and bigger, and then it died because we put out a couple bad records, and then we did another record with Side One Dummy, and it was like we had a second wind in our career, and all of a sudden, selling a bunch of records and people coming to our shows again. And then we broke up, and then we got reformed with a new guitar player, and then all of a sudden people, like, there's like a third wind or fourth wind.
So many records, man.
It's bizarre.
And you had your own label too.
Yeah.
Records.
Yeah, I was just kind of putting out my own stuff. That's all.
Is that still around?
No, I have the money for that, man. I don't have or the time.
You did it for a minute though, just putting out your own stuff.
Yeah. I just didn't have the money or time. I really wanted to put out bands I like too, but I just didn't have the time or money to put into it. I knew I didn't, so
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do it wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
So then playing shows with Suicide Machines back together, and then that's up until like the pandemic too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our record came out legitimately the week the pandemic dropped. The one that we did for Fat.
Fuck. Revolution Spring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, it came out the first week.
So you never really played shows on that?
No.
Still?
No. Well, now we have.
Now you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're playing a lot of the record, but dude, it was
just
like
stop.
Oh, it was the worst. We did the Zoom hangout the day it came out and got drunk together on the Zoom because we were like, all right, happy record release day. It's so
fucking brutal.
It was so stupid.
And then what about your job too at that time? That kind of shuts down too, or
well, that was kind of like the best thing that happened for me. And I know that the pandemic was really bad for a lot of people, but somehow it worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
You know, I was working nights. I wasn't seeing my kids anymore.
How many years you there for? You said before?
15.
Wow.
And I was trained to be a leader, a boss, if you will. And then I realized I did not want to be the babysitter for 50-year-old grumpy men who yell at each other and complain and moan and talk crap on each other.
Yeah.
So all a year's training of being a boss, and they're still trying to push me to be a boss, and the pandemic hit. And like, all right, we're going to furlough people. It's only going to be like a month, I'm sure.
I remember that shit.
Like,
man.
who wants to take the first furlough? It'll be like a month, I'm sure. And I was like, me? And they're like, what? Like, you're a career dude. And I'm like, no, this is, you guys are dumb and you don't realize what's about to happen. And I've had enough of the night shift. Give me the furlough. I'll take the furlough. No one could believe it because I'd been trained to be a boss. I would take over my bosses. Like, they'd always make me start the day up for the first couple hours because they didn't feel like coming in. So I would start the whole department in my warehouse. Damn. And everyone's like, dude, you're gonna be a boss. You're gonna be a boss. And I was just like, I'm out. They're like, what?
Wow.
So I took it. Months later, all the,
months later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was nice because I'm not gonna lie. I was like in I don't know how many protests and marches during that time because of what was happening with the Black Lives Matter movement, and I don't even know, well over 100, 150. I don't even know how many.
And then
protests.
with your family and all that and everything. Too.
Yeah, and I got to know my family again too. And I was like getting to know my family because I was no longer doing the night shift thing. And then my friend who used to live with the bass player of the Suicide Machines has a construction company and was like, we are slammed. We need help.
During the pandemic?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like,
Yeah,
construction was crazy.
Yeah, people building all kinds of things in the yards, redoing their houses. Yeah.
Can't go anywhere. They got the money to spend.
Yeah.
And he was like, you built skate parks and ramps. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you know your way around tape measure and tools. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'll give you $20 an hour and I'll even bonus you overtime And we were working like 60, 65, 70 hours a week.
Jesus.
At just remodeling garages.
Middle of the pandemic.
In the middle of the pandemic. Just like, making like $40,000, $50,000 in 2 days, remodeling people's garages of all things.
People making gyms, all kinds of shit back then, yeah.
Yeah, and my company calls me back, and I heard they went through, it was horrible for them. I heard how bad because it was a food distribution warehouse.
Okay.
Which did restaurants, schools.
Dude. Yeah.
And they were like, hey, you can come back. And I'm like, okay. Well, like doing what? They're like, well, if you want day shift, you'll have to pack a truck. And I was like, man, I hucked cases,
You've done all that.
7 to 12, 14,000 cases a day. Horrible for your body, in a freezer. Like, I'm not going to go pack a truck. That's 26,000 cases a day, stacking them inside of a truck. I'm like, I'm not coming back. Like, all right, well, we'll tell you what the next option is. A couple months later, they hit me up. Hey, do you want to be a janitor? And I was like,
what?
It's like, listen, man, no. Because I want a day shift.
Deep in that job,
I kept telling them, I was like, I want day shift. I'm not coming back for night shift. I don't care. I don't care how good the position is. I'm not coming back for nights. And they hit me up. They couldn't believe I wouldn't come back. And then they said, janitor position, we'll even give you your normal pay, which was good pay.
Yeah.
And like, we'll probably try to make you the head of the department. And I was just like, man, I'm good.
Wow.
I'm out.
Damn.
My boss
Must have
likes
felt
me.
Nice.
Yeah, my boss likes me. He pays me insanely well. I get to see my kids. I'm on a normal schedule. My boss knows punk rock. He's a punk rocker. The other guy who co-owns the company was the drummer of this hardcore band, Social Scare, from Detroit. And they let me play in shows, and they get it.
Yeah. We did your time, 15 years there, man.
Yeah, so I was done. I was cooked, man. The reason why that Hellmouth band started, because I was so depressed and angry about everything, the result that was Hellmouth. That job was driving me nuts.
Yeah, we really are miserable there for many years.
Miserable, man. Miserable. Night shift will it got me. It just got me. Drove me nuts. I felt insane.
So what time would you work at night all the way to the morning? Like,
yeah, so there's 2 different shifts I would do. The bizarre one was I'd have to get there at 4 in the morning, and I'd be done at about 5 or 6 in the afternoon. That was the easy day shift. And then the night shift, I had to drive an hour outside of the city to get to this job, too. And sometimes traffic is so horrible getting out because you're starting at 5:30 at night, having to deal with the traffic leaving the city.
Yeah.
So I'd have to leave at like 3:30 in the afternoon, try to get to work by 5:30, and then I wouldn't get home until 6:37 in the morning.
Brutal, man.
Yeah, it was awful. I was going nuts, and so I don't know.
But that's that like real dad shit. Just do what you gotta do for your family and take care of your family no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
I may not be the best dad, but I try to be. I try to be a better dad than I had.
Exactly.
But
now you have time for them. It's a blessing that actually happened.
It's cool. I feel like there's moments where I didn't even get to know a couple of my kids because I would sleep all day because I was working. I'd see them for an hour, go to work.
So I'm sure you guys are way more tight now from all this.
Yes.
I think it brought a lot of families together, just having their kids home from school, just everything, the whole thing.
Yeah.
A lot of negatives, but a lot of positives.
So many negatives, right? But I had a really good positive experience. It was almost like a good reset with me and my family and Sandra, and it was good.
That's really nice, man.
Life, man.
I think there's a lot of resets for people. Just reset for the whole world.
Yeah, it was awful. I lost a few friends during the pandemic because of it, and
same. But it's also like the planet Earth was like putting us on a timeout. Like
it's interesting.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting.
Like time to sit down for a little bit.
Yeah.
You've been fucking killing me for fucking years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was interesting to see the radar pictures of the air quality in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
How it went all down. It was crazy. Yeah. It was such a crazy time. It seems like so long ago too.
Yeah. Well, it was a long, stressful.
It was. It was interesting. Like I learned how to not stress about things I have no control over. Like, is my band ever going to play again? I don't know, maybe not. But I got my podcast. I'm home. I got my family. I'm safe. I'm healthy. Yep. Like, what am I going to do? I can't control that.
Nope.
Everything kept getting pushed and canceled and blah blah blah, and just.
If anything's
out of gave up thinking about it.
Yeah, man. That's one of the best assets to ever have, is to just know that if something is out of your control.
Yeah.
Legitimately out of your control, then just breathe in and breathe it out and let it go, man.
Were you stressing when it went down, everything, or no? With music or anything, just the future of the world?
I was just stressed out at watching more so the world. Like, that was at the time when it seemed like cops were murdering people left and right. And that was insanely stressful.
And it was magnified too on our phones all day, watching everything go down.
Yes, it was not helping.
The phone, I know, dude.
Yeah, that was
Social
not helping.
media, just everything was like the
Yep.
news, and then Trump tweeting, all that shit
Yep.
was just every day.
Yep. And then, yeah, that was.
And you were home, stuck at home, and you really couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It was
Well,
like,
we pandemic or not, man, everyone was protesting.
yeah, we were out too here too. It was
Yeah,
really
man.
close to my house too.
Yeah, it was pretty insane in Detroit. I saw a lot of bad things happen. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, that was hard.
Crazy time, man.
Very crazy time.
But now we're out of it. Now you're on tour. Now you're playing shows, and now you're back. And
Back? Are we back to normal life? I'm not really sure. It's
I mean, it
hard.
feels like it's close to it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
It is. I got COVID last year really bad.
First time?
Yeah, no, I've had it twice, but this is the first time I had it. And shots or not, man, like I was out for a month. Like
Wow.
I could not believe how
Banged
bad
out.
it was. I was scared, man, for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the second time I had it, it was like nothing, you know?
You don't seem like somebody's like a hypochondriac or anything like that.
What?
You don't seem like a hypochondriac or somebody gets really scared about shit.
No,
either.
no.
You seem really chill about that.
Yeah, I don't trip on much these days.
So you had COVID pretty bad and knocked you out for a little bit?
Oh yeah, I was scared. A couple nights I was thinking I should go to the hospital and be put on a respirator, but I was almost a little too scared to do that because usually that was like the kiss of death, right? You know, and
Yeah.
I've seen so many. I had friends pass away, a
Same.
couple people I knew, and their like family members pass away, and I was like, I was too terrified to go.
One of my last photos of my friend sent me a picture of him on a respirator and said, I'm just keeping the PMA. Sent me my friend Rob, rest in peace, Black Train Jack. I still have the photo on my phone. The last text he sent me the next day was gone. It was brutality, bro.
Yeah,
It was so fucking surreal, man.
it was hard.
Because you were seeing it happen to other people. Then when it comes like that, you
Yeah,
know?
man, it was a hard time. A lot of people went through some horrible stuff.
Yeah. I feel like maybe hopefully the world's, I don't know, maybe we're more, I don't know, aware of just everything or health or just everything. I would hope coming out of that something positive, you know? I feel like more people woke up as far as like how they're taking care of themselves.
I hope so. Well,
Do you know
mentally.
what I'm saying? Mentally, everything. Mentally
Mentally,
and
man.
physically. And also as bad as social media is and how a negative place it is where people don't have conversations like this,
Yeah.
I think it brought a lot of people together. You could see what's happening around the whole world. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
kind of
and
brought us together in a sense.
It did, man. I still think there's a lot of positivity in the internet, and I still
Yeah.
think that there is things to be laughed at online, right? There's still some good out there in it, for
Yeah.
sure, man. Like,
Do you spend a lot of time on it, social media?
no, I do not.
Yeah.
I at this point, I post about if my band is playing. You know, Sandra got mad at me. She's like, "Why don't you ever post about us?" And I'm like, "Because I don't want people to really know about my family. It's my family. I try to keep it off."
No,
like,
I love that.
out of that, and
Respect
she
that.
gets upset about it. Like, you need to brag about your kids or something. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't like people knowing about.
You've always been like that too, very personal.
Yeah, I like it's my personal life. I keep.
I like
I
that.
try to,
Yeah.
So recently, she made me post a picture of our family at my birthday party.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But you never check messages or check DMs or
Rarely.
read
People get so
comments?
mad about me because I don't. Yeah, it was funny because we put out Revolution Spring. This is funny. This goes to comments, and someone kept commenting. There's barely any bad comments ever about that Revolution Spring record we did
Dope.
on Fat. It was nothing but
Dope.
positive stuff.
That's
And,
amazing.
But our guitar player at the time was not used to. He was like watching all the comments constantly. And I was like, listen, man, just don't even. Who cares?
Who fucking cares?
Don't waste your time. And 2, don't waste your time. And 3, who cares if one person doesn't like your guitar playing or whatever? Because you're not ever going to be Dan. No one's ever going to, you're going
Yeah.
to get something like that from someone somewhere.
You never be good enough for anybody, first and foremost.
And there was only like one really bad comment ever on one of the videos, and he's getting so upset. I'm like, dude, you just need to who cares, man? Like,
yeah.
let it go.
Who is this person?
Who cares?
Have they ever wrote a song? Have they ever been in a band? Like,
Yeah.
all those comments is like,
Yeah.
are they bots? Are they real people?
True.
It's just one negative one of like 1,000 positive ones.
Word. Yep.
But
Yeah.
also, I get it because we are sensitive humans.
Yeah, but I try not to do. The internet just takes too much of my time, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit down and play my guitar or, watch wrestling with my youngest son and let him beat me up or something. You know what I mean? Like, I just have, or go skate if I have, because I don't have much time, man. I work, and then I'm trying to be home with the kids or cook dinner. I cook dinner
You
a
good
lot.
cook?
Yeah. I cook dinner a lot, and so, and then all the music I do,
Do so much.
it's like, I try not to waste my time online.
Yeah. And you're still skating. Trying
as
to.
much as I can. My
Yeah.
right knee is shot, but I still skate. Yeah, absolutely. I got a really fun skate park. It's all concrete right by my house in Chandler Park. It's awesome. It's like a Dr. Dre video
Oh, is
on
it?
Saturdays and Sundays. DJs.
Oh,
and,
that's sick.
you've got like it's fun, man. It sounds crazy, but it's actually really cool. It's a good park to skate and just good vibes. Everyone barbecuing out there and stuff, which I don't eat meat, but it's cool to be in that park skating all the time. So
That's
it's pretty
awesome.
Sweet.
Are you sober, guy?
I am not sober.
Because you guys have that Well Wishes whiskey. Is that something?
Yeah. We put out our own bourbon.
That's cool. My wife loves bourbon. It's all in this fucking house.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Loves this
I
shit.
sometimes feel like I should go to rehab for drinking.
Really?
I drink a lot.
Okay.
And it's like it's come to the point.
Your whole
where-
life?
No. I was clean and sober for quite a while.
Were you straight edge for a second too? Or
I was
no?
never straight edge, but I was
Okay.
definitely doing nothing for years.
Yeah, not claiming.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't claim much of anything. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
I'm a skateboarder, I guess. I'll claim
I
being a
know.
skateboarder. That's all I got.
So drinking what? You've been drinking a lot?
Yeah, man. And it's it's so normal to me that I should probably. I don't know. I should probably.
Well, also you weren't happy with your job for a long time.
That's
too.
what started it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
That's
it's
what
like,
started it. I was miserable. I
Yeah.
wasn't seeing my kids. I'd get off at 8 a.m. and I'd be like wide awake and wired from being, at work, being in a freezer, just going crazy all day. And then, so I'd grab pint of gin, go home, have a couple drinks, go to bed.
Yeah,
And that turned into I can drink every day and it doesn't matter.
it's crazy. How that's like the norm. Like
It's not cool that it's
like
the
what
norm,
dads.
right?
It's like dads work so much for their families, but they have no time to spend with their families. But they're making the money to support the families, but can't even hang out with them.
American
That's a-
dream. It's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing that I mean, you've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of people that just do music or other things never had to really, they had these free time, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you have 6 children, you're balancing a career and working and keeping the fucking roof over everybody's head and then being with the kids. It's no joke, man.
It's
a
hard.
lot,
It's
dude.
stressful, and then, the original job I was working at that warehouse was very demanding physically. I was like 145 pounds and super cut, but it was also killing all my joints, my back. 'Cause I'm throwing thousands of cases a day, and my body would hurt so bad, and I couldn't go to bed because I was hurting so bad. So I'd be like, okay, a couple gin and tonics, go to bed.
Were you missing tour a lot, like wanting to be full-time band at that point, working those jobs, like get me the fuck out of here?
No, but what I did miss was traveling.
Yeah, seeing the world.
Nomadic, man. Like,
You love traveling.
I love it. I love going to a different city and just walking around.
I
And,
know.
like everything about it.
Do you think looking back, like, not that we didn't appreciate it, but we were so like in our whole world, like as you get older, you're like, fuck, I miss like, I'd love to go back to this one city, to that one spot and just spend the day and bring my kids there, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I definitely blew it. Like I never went to the Louvre in Paris. Like I wish I would have went.
Same.
I wish I would have went.
How many times you been to the Eiffel Tower? Oh, this time I'm not gonna miss it this time.
I mean,
Or
I saw it from
Yeah.
afar and was like, that's cool.
all the churches in Prague, just all this beautiful shit.
Yeah, man. Well, Prague, I definitely went crazy in Prague the first time I went there. I was like, I couldn't believe how beautiful that city was. So I went everywhere.
It's like an AFI video,
Yeah.
which they did shoot there. They did shot.
I didn't know
They
that.
shot their video there. It's like goth and just like dark. I fucking love it.
I love Davey.
Dude, I ran into the other night, man. He's a superhero to me, dude.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome.
like Jack, just like fucking. He's perfect.
He's cool, man.
They just sold out the Forum. It was crazy with one of their albums. Yeah,
Whoa.
man. I forgot what album was, like one of their big albums.
That's crazy. He's
Yeah. He's. You there's some bands that you still listen to from that era, like a lot of. You listen to new shit or mostly old stuff?
I listen to a lot of new stuff, man. I'm
New hardcore too,
yeah, I love Scowl. My friend plays guitar.
Woo!
Yeah, like Scowl's rad. And
dude. So good.
I know who Jello's. We were talking about him earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what I really love,
love
about
Scowl, man.
what I really love about the hardcore movement is seeing it being more inclusive to black and women and
100.
gay. And the
Yes.
same thing is happening in ska. Like you'll come to a ska show and it's young, old, trans, straight, gay, and I was still a little bit white-ish, but a lot of more people of color
Yeah.
coming down to ska, and I think it's so inclusive that.
Love that.
But it's beautiful that the younger generation has brought that back.
100%, because it was lost for a long time.
It was lost for a very long time.
100%, and
You
that's
know?
why we get into it, because it
Yeah.
was a community of all types of people.
Yeah,
you
when
know
I
what I'm
started,
saying?
yeah, even in the mid '80s, it was still very much the outcast,
Yes.
black, white, gay, didn't matter.
Yes.
The freaks, the weirdos.
Then it got kind of weird in the 90s, where it was like kind of like, I don't know, man.
Yep. I'd say
It got
89,
violent,
90.
it got very judgmental, it got militant, all different sectors of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It got separate, like divided.
It did. And it was weird, man. Like when you and I were kids, it was like punk and hardcore and ska. Like
Skateboard,
everyone did
everything.
it together,
Yeah.
right?
Then it was just like
That was the beauty.
skinhead shows, straight edge shows, positive show, whatever the shows were, you know.
Yeah, man.
But now seeing that, I went to see this band Zulu the other night at a record store, like
I know who
500
Zulu is.
people on a Wednesday night. It was fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I live in California, so maybe I feel it, but it's thriving. California is crazy for hardcore right now. I'm sure it is in Detroit and everywhere else in the world, but this is where I see going to these shows and young bands and like, but also like hardcore historians where they like giving props to the older bands.
Yeah.
Like wearing old T-shirts or like naming them as their influences or other bands we're friends with, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like we're new and fuck the old. They're like actually paying homage.
Well, that's what I
which
love
is
about the
nice.
hip hop scene right now.
Yeah.
It seemed like hip hop just did not. It didn't recognize its past for years, right?
Yeah.
And now I feel like a lot of hip hop artists are really kind of acknowledging, from the beginning all the way up to where they're at now, which is nice to see because it was like hip hop, they come and go.
Yeah.
Or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that kind of being a thing too in hip hop as well.
Yeah. What do you think of like gatekeeping and all that corny stuff?
I don't even know what that means.
It means the people. it's a word that people throw around. A lot of young kids throw it around now too. It's like it's the people who are like gatekeepers of hardcore. Like that to them, the new shit's not hardcore. So hardcore is over. It's like they're hardcore. That was it, and they're the ones. No, we gatekeep. This is what the real shit is, and your shit's not. I hate it. I'm 53 years old, and I love all the new shit. And if my band never plays again, I'll know that hardcore's in a great place. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as an elder man, whatever.
It's not punk to gatekeep.
I know. All the old heads, like, this is my, like, we were talking about yesterday, me and Hori, like, when Madball came out, all the old heads were like, this is too bouncy, this is too rap. H2O, that's the New York car. You guys are too pop, you're too melodic. That's the type of shit. Like, there's no blueprint to this shit.
Right.
Like hardcore is more than just the sound and the look. It's
Agree.
it's a way of life.
It's culture, man.
It's culture, like you were saying. So it's like there's a lot of people like, oh, Turnstile's not this. I think Turnstile is so fucking hardcore because they have every element of every type of all in one. I think it's beautiful. They could have a 311 kind of vibe too. For us growing up, we covered a Madonna song, but we couldn't have certain influences because people were like, oh, that's not hardcore. You had to have like a certain style or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
But I still love pop music.
I don't get into the gatekeeping. There's definitely some gatekeepers in the ska reggae world, and I don't.
I was going to ask you that.
And I don't buy that, man. I don't buy into any of that at all because I think like the young kids are doing it right. There wouldn't be this inclusive scene now that is ska, that is,
So ska's thriving right now.
Yeah, but it's also like thriving in a way that is breaking the boundaries and bringing it back to like anyone is allowed. I've gone to shows and seen the people who dress up in animal furries.
Oh yeah,
costumes.
First. Yeah,
I've seen furry people at ska shows.
Sick.
Like no one cares.
Yeah,
you're there because you want to have a good time and you must like the music and you got to be an alright person.
Yeah,
and you'll see nobody mess with that person.
Yeah,
as
opposed to maybe a hardcore show in the '90s, somebody rocking that like.
And so all these gatekeeping people that are kind of older that don't
I like to know the word now.
Kids,
using it now, gatekeeping.
Yeah. You're teaching me, Toby. You're teaching me. You're a good teacher. There's some old people that weren't like vibing with some of these new young ska bands, and I was like, dude, these kids are cool, man. They're cool. Like what they're doing is cool. Some of it's different. So what? It's neat.
Yeah.
Let them in. Like it doesn't matter. Like And that is what's building the new ska scene and making it thrive. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, evolving is great, and new things are great. It's scary to people that they're not used to it, but things got to change. And
absolutely,
I love the different generations of all of it.
Yeah, people hated the Suicide Machines when we started because we ruined ska.
Really?
They hated us.
Wow, it wasn't Real Big Fish.
No, but I definitely almost beat up one of their horn players.
Oh no! Wow,
he's being a jerk.
Was there like ska beef back then with bands or not?
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah, there was.
You guys toured the Boss Tones too, right?
Oh, yeah, I love the Boss
Fucking
Tones.
love the Boss Tones, bro.
Yeah, I love
They changed my life, taking us on tour and showing us how to be professional, try to be on time for sound checks, the way they treated opening bands.
Yep.
Shared their catering.
Yep, great people.
Incredible, man.
Yeah, I love that band.
So back then there was like no ska beef with different bands or?
There wasn't for the Machines.
Any ska diss tracks? I don't know this.
Yeah, no. The only real ska beef is that like, we ruined it because we were too punk. So people like the ska bands didn't want to play with us because we were too punk.
Yeah.
And it was too wild if we played because we played like a hardcore band even though we were playing ska.
You really did. It was super hard. Yeah.
And then some of the punk people, no names mentioned, were like, ska. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were just kind of like, dude, man, the whole point of this stuff is like the Specials, a lot of people don't get it. The Specials were way more punk than people think.
Mm-hmm.
If you really listen to their music, especially, not just the message of the idea of black and white together, but if you listen to some of the music, dude, you hear the punk in it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand that, like that. They were doing that back then. You could
Yeah.
say my band sucks because we're too punk or we're too ska.
Yeah.
Well, if you really listen back to the old stuff like Fishbone and the Specials, like
Woo.
they were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as extreme, you know?
I love Fishbone, man.
Yeah, me too.
Underrated band, dude.
Oh, dude, that first record
wish
is
they
one
were
of the best
fucking
things ever.
Massive. Like, they was so incredible, man. Angela's such a great front man and
Phenomenal.
incredible albums. And, like, I had him on the pod, too. Interesting, awesome human. And, like, just they're still doing it as well.
Yeah, it's one of the first ska bands I ever got into, you know? For sure.
That was, like, your first intro to it?
That wasn't my intro to it. I think my intro to it was probably listening to Blondie
Ooh.
covering, like, The Tide is High. I didn't really know what it was, but I liked it as a kid.
Wow.
It's one of the first records I ever bought,
Okay.
like 5th grade.
I had you know, you heard Yellow Wolf?
Yeah.
Had him on the pod. He was talking about the first white rapper ever, and he was like, it was Blondie.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. It's pretty interesting.
Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah, dude.
100%.
I know. It's just crazy. You don't think about her in that world, you know?
I do.
Okay.
One of the coolest things ever is we were playing Roseland in New York City.
Ooh, Roseland.
And she came to the show, and so did the guitar player. But they were there to see No Doubt.
Oh, shit.
It was like, yeah, it was us and No Doubt. And I'm like,
sick.
Oh. And so me as the kid who bought Blondie Auto American, because I loved them in 5th grade,
Jesus.
was like, oh, man, Deborah, dude. Yeah.
Deborah Harry's here.
And
yeah.
I was blown. My mind was blown. She's there. I'm like, they're just going to watch No Doubt. 100% looked over, and there's Deborah Harry rocking out to us.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, my God. She's actually, I don't get starstruck about anything. I don't care about music people.
Yeah.
I don't care about actors. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Blondie, bro.
But it was, right, that was the one of the few times I was like, oh, boy, this is heavy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that way ever.
Fuck.
Yeah. I was too afraid to even talk to him. I didn't talk to either of them. I was just like,
How was that tour? No Doubt tour.
Oh, we did a couple of them. They're great.
That's
man.
awesome,
No Doubt's
man.
great people.
Great people. I said
Fantastic.
Tony on here, too. Man.
Oh, Canal? Dude,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Know. What a great band, dude.
Yep.
So many amazing songs.
Oh, yeah. Steve, the trumpet player that would tour with them all the time, skates, by the way. So,
Oh, he does?
yeah, he's good. He's got mad pops, dude. I think they were tripping out one day on tour because we were ollieing over a garbage can inside the club, and they're kind of like, "Oh, don't break your arm."
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. Do you have any daily rituals you do? You're a coffee head. I can see this.
Yeah, I do.
How many coffees a day you on?
I only one.
Okay, sick. That's a pretty decent size one.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, it's a big coffee.
It's okay. No judgment. I fuck with caffeine.
Yeah, only one, man. I don't have much of a ritual. I'll make like the I don't know what the egg patty is, the fake egg patty.
Oh yeah, just egg.
Yeah, I'll make a just egg patty and like a McMuffin before I go into work and
Sick.
go to work all day. When I get home from work, I'm usually, when I'm not doing something at night, I am the cook.
Yeah.
So I will go do the shopping because we don't like to shop for a week ahead of time. We shop usually on a daily or every couple.
So like cooking at home for your family.
Yeah, so like if I come home and I'm free and I'm not doing something, I'm the cook for the night. So
wow,
it's usually how it works. So,
but like do you work out and stuff like that or?
No, I don't work out anymore. I do I have to stretch these days to skate. That's
Hell
for sure.
yeah, and play too. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to, man. I'm 50 years old. It's I got to start doing something. So.
Do you consider yourself an optimist or pessimist?
Oh, I think I heard you should ask this on one of your podcasts,
That's
right?
one of my main.
Okay, yeah. Am I optimist or pessimist? I'm an optimist, man.
You seem like it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always been that way.
Yeah. I try to be.
You've always.
I don't even think I try to be. I just think I am.
Yeah.
You know.
You've always believed in yourself. Pushed hard.
And when I believe in somebody or something, I'm full in.
Go hard. Yeah. Full in. Yeah. Do you ever want to quit playing music?
No. I love creating.
Yeah.
You're
still writing songs and you write all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I do the Traders because it's like two-tone style ska, so I don't have to go crazy on stage and actually play guitar. So I have to like. I want to do the Machines how I want to do the Machines. Will my body allow me to do the Machines like I want to do the Machines in the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Probably not. So this is kind of like me accepting that I can't do a backflip off the stage or something, into the crowd. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, we gotta chill, man.
Yeah, and so like that's just kind of like where I'm at. Like I definitely know, but yeah, I never want to quit playing music. It's like I don't see painters quit painting, or any artists quit doing their art,
Yeah.
So
do you have any major regrets in your life?
I don't think so, man. I wouldn't be here today where I'm at and in the frame of mind I'm in if I had any.
True.
You learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from your mistakes, man.
Yeah.
And that's how you be an optimist.
Yeah. It's a great answer.
Yeah.
What about Travis Barker trying out for the Suicide Machines?
It's funny.
Is this a myth? This is real life.
Oh, it's real life. Travis is cool, man.
Came to Detroit.
Yeah, he came to Detroit in winter.
Fuck.
He's a
Cali kid. Yeah.
Riverside boy, right?
Yeah.
And he had some things going on in his life to where he really couldn't commit and stay.
Was it
stay out
Aquabats
there.
time or
Yeah, it was
Blink
Aquabats.
time?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Aquabats time, and he didn't. He was going through some stuff, and he really needed to be out here. But he came and was like, forget this winter stuff.
He came and left real quick.
Yeah, he was like, he was there and was like, I don't think I can handle, being in the one. I have things I have to take care of at home. Two, I don't think he could hang with the winter.
Couldn't hang, right?
Yeah, I can't either. I'm done with it.
Are you over it?
I mean, even with the climate change, we don't even have hard winters anymore in Detroit. But it's like, I still just don't want to be in the winter anymore, man.
But would you move somewhere else?
Yeah, Costa Rica. I'll go surf. I'll have Max come down and teach me how to surf.
You're talking about that. You move there with Bo.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a spot out there, right?
Yeah. Bo's down there with his whole family, so he doesn't know yet, but I'm gonna bug him and give me a job.
Do you have any big inspirations in your life or top fives or anything like that, or artist or?
No, man, I don't, man. It's a daily thing.
Yeah.
That keeps me going. Something new coming my way, and it's whatever it is. Could be something ridiculously simple, like my kid.
Yeah.
Saying something.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, or it could be who knows what, learning something. Like I'm building a restaurant right now.
Oh wow!
So like just weird stuff like that's been inspiring.
It's your pizza spot?
No, not my own. I'm building it for a person.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Like we're building it from the ground up, like putting everything. So it's like that's inspirational to me. Like just learning stuff I haven't done yet. Construction.
Still learning, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
But you're a pretty great handyman.
I'm getting there. I'm thinking about going back to actually go to school for electrical maybe.
No way, that's amazing.
Just to have the knowledge, right?
Roger from Agnostic Front has that, and he lived in the squat for like 20 years in Lower East Side, and he put all the electricity in there, and I thought that was so cool. Like he went to school for that.
Yeah, man. It's
like,
it's
you're
heavy.
a singer of AF, and you're fucking putting electrical in this building.
Well, that's
it's cool
the
to
thing.
have the skill like that.
Yeah, like I can do a lot of easy electrical stuff like around houses, but I would like to know how to like really, really do it. You know what I mean? Like
still learning and pushing yourself. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
It's fun. I like it. That's why I said it's like almost a daily thing. It doesn't happen every day. Any inspiration. I just don't have any real inspiration.
You had no favorite MCs growing up?
Well, yeah, man. Rakim.
Hell yeah, right there next to you. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh,
best.
I didn't see that, man. Yeah,
the best, dude. Rakim's the best.
And KRS-One for sure.
Woo,
I really like
nice.
Chip Fu from the Fushnikins.
What? You're the first person to mention Fushnikins on here.
Yeah.
Lash move.
Yeah,
We ain't got nothing.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I really like. I tried like a lot of that fast ska stuff I would do. Was really inspired by him.
Or Das Effects, dude.
Oh, I have that first 12-inch. Yeah.
So you like a lot of that, like the New York shit.
Oh yeah, well yeah, definitely East Coast stuff for sure.
You ever fucked with Eminem?
Not really, man. He's all right.
Is it a Detroit thing because you're from there? Is it like?
No, he's okay. I mean, he has some good songs, right? Like,
wow.
I don't love him. They're
8 Mile's pretty legit though.
8 Mile's very legit. I live off 7 Mile, and it's like blood.
Okay.
It's blood neighborhood.
Okay.
I'm on the edge of it, living now in Grosse Pointe, which is a nice neighborhood, but it's a blood neighborhood, and it's like real stuff. Like, I swear, Vezzo. Once he got out of jail for being a blood, he put out a lot of good music.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
So 8 Miles.
Shitty Boys. I'm like,
I don't know that.
Yeah. No, it's legit.
Yeah.
It's legit, man. I take 8 Mile every day to work. I go.
Is it still kind of like grimy out there in 8 Mile?
I've seen some horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets grimy.
So he grew up as legit, like trailer park, straight up, like.
Yeah, he's legit. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, listen, man. I worked and lived in the shelter. I don't remember any of the stuff like in that movie.
Really?
No, I don't remember any of that at all.
No freestyle battles?
No, I remember
like
some white guys that were terrible on the mic, for sure. But like, I don't remember any crazy. You know what? There was some battles for sure. There's definitely some rap battles, but like, it wasn't like the movie. But as far as him being legit, yeah, man, everyone knows he's legit, man. Like he's the real deal.
Yeah.
You know.
What are some other bigger MCs from Detroit? Really not.
Well, these days, like you've got Baby Sada, and then I swear Vezo, the Shitty Boys, which is Babytron.
Babytron. Yeah, my son told me about him yesterday.
Yeah. So Shitty Boys is his old clique. It's his group.
Shitty Boys.
Yeah, Shitty Boys. Dude, they have this record called The Three-Peat, and they took really old songs like doom doom doom. Dum, 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 and they rhyme over it.
Wow.
And it's really bad production because they're actually
taking.
Yeah, it's Jam On. I have that 7-inch actually. They rhyme over all these old songs and flip them. Oh, you know who's really good, man? But he's from Flint. Is John Connor.
John Connor?
Yeah,
okay.
From Flint, man. He was one of Dre's boys. I don't know why it didn't blow up, but John Connor from Flint's excellent.
There was another band on the Warped Tour that got in a fight with Eminem's crew. They were like two dudes from Detroit.
Isham.
Yeah.
It's my friend.
Really?
Yeah, Isham's great.
Still around, rapping?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't mess with Isham. He's real too.
You remember that? Remember the Warped Tour show? It was crazy.
He went on their bus and fought all of D12.
Yes.
Him and only his DJ. Walked right on the whole D12 bus and was like, step.
Wow.
How crazy is that? Like, that's how crazy.
So you remember that?
That's how crazy Isham is.
So he's still around?
Yeah, man. He's great. He's a cool dude.
Is Coda's Life still play? Or?
Yeah, they're back together.
Wow.
Yeah, they're playing there.
So legendary. That's one band I see a lot of the newer hardcore kids wearing their shirts, and people really love Coda's Life.
Listen, man, I love Jeff Gannells, and I want the best for him. I hope that, I'm glad they're back together. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And
if there's anyone I want to see succeed in this world, he's one of them. He's a great person, man. So I'm rooting for him. I hope this goes well.
Yeah. So the band, so the record you have right now on the tour you're on, how many more shows you got?
We've only got San Diego tonight and Tijuana tomorrow. So.
And then what's next for you as far as touring or Suicide Machines? Or?
I'm playing next weekend with NoFX, and the Descendants for one of those last NoFX shows. So
where's that?
That one's in Columbus, Ohio. Something like
this
that.
was Suicide Machines?
Yeah. Suicide Machines are playing that. And then after that, I go back on tour at the Traders, East Coast to the Midwest. And then it's just all weekends. Weekends from there on out, just fly-ins. So until November. All weekend fly-ins.
Yeah. So Suicide Machines are back.
Yep.
Might be maybe a fuller tour next year or something. Who knows?
We are going to try to do the West Coast with Against All Authority.
Sick.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah.
Are they Arizona?
Florida. Miami.
Okay.
Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's a great band, too, man.
Yeah, it's punk.
Yeah.
They were the other band that everyone hated on because we were too punk or too ska or not ska or not punk enough, yeah. Damn. You know what I mean? We always got that whole... maybe that's the beginning of the gatekeeping, right?
Yeah. You learned a new word today.
I did. I feel smarter. See, there's the inspiration for the day.
Yeah.
I learned a new.
Well, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it. I know you got a show tonight.
It's good to see you, man.
Fucking catching up with you and learning more about your life. That's why I love this podcast. Just it's people's stories and shit, man.
Do you remember that day I picked you up? My car broke down. It was me, you, Moon. I think maybe my daughter Adeline. My car broke down in the middle of the freeway.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I remember picking y'all up to go hang out and do something.
Food or something, right?
Yeah.
I love that we connected back then, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really cool.
Yeah, man.
And knowing your family and knowing your journey, and you've always been a hard worker, man.
Yeah, and my wife absolutely adores Moon, so it's that's rare for her.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, sir.
Yep.
Soma in the house, San Diego, all the shows you booked and shit, and played shows and Golden Voice, all that, man.
Yep, got Jerry Brooks up in here. Used to run it.
That was awesome, man. As soon as you walked in the yard, I was I recognize this dude. I met you a million times throughout my life. Yeah. So tonight is San Diego?
Yep.
Yeah.
Soda Bar.
Awesome. And people can find you. You really talk to people online, so people really can't reach out to you.
It's hard. I don't
kind of like that.
Off
the grid, but on the grid.
I really don't want to be on the grid. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, but so the people just want to reach out or just check for your dates and go to your website. So you have an Instagram though, right? For the Traders?
All my bands have Instagrams and stuff.
Hellmouth, everything, right?
Yeah. Hellmouth has one.
But you don't run none of that shit.
No, man, I don't touch any of it, man. I have my own, which a lot of people follow, but I mean, if it's something serious, I'll probably answer you, But I don't know, man. It's getting weird. It's getting weird out there, man. So
it really is, right?
It's not a negative thing, man. I mean, it's necessary.
We need it to promote everything we're doing.
It's true, and there is a good side to it. There really is. I think
There's a lot of dark shit on there too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Are your kids on social media a lot?
Oh God, one of my daughters is like a TikTok star.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I don't want to.
Don't say her name. But
she's a crazy.
She blew up on there.
Pretty much. She's.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know about blowing up, but yeah, I mean, she really should. Whatever you have to do to trademark it to get paid or whatever, she probably should. But she's an insane costume designer.
Wow.
And so she does all the crazy cosplay stuff, but half the times you can't even. She doesn't look like her.
Whoa.
So it's bizarre, but she goes to all the cons and stuff, and people trip out on her, and she does all kinds of. It's crazy.
That's freaking crazy.
It's inspiring, but she wants to go design. Costumes.
How old is she?
Clothes. She's 20.
Okay.
They're 20.
Yeah.
And
that is so cool.
Yeah, and it's impressive the things that Viv, my kid, can make. It's mind blowing, and it's all
TikTok too.
Makes these crazy. I mean, it's just bizarre the things that Viv can make. It's insane to see.
And the other kids are on social media probably.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
My son's like that too. He doesn't post. He's always surfing. He's outside skating. I love that.
Yeah.
Never played video games. Was always like doing stuff outside in California and not like on there like.
He's basically old school.
He's basically old school. Yeah, like he really lives a Cali boy. He's surfing right now. Surfs every day. Skates. Hangs out with his girl. He posts because he does modeling. So my wife's like, "Hey, we check in." I'm like, "Hey, did you post that thing from you?" Okay, yeah, I do that, but doesn't really care about. I love that.
Yeah, my other kid Millie is a baker, and so she'll post up what she bakes.
Nice.
It's crazy, man. Like she started off in a vegan restaurant, and once we moved to the east side of Detroit, there's a bakery, and she got a job there, and because she could already do it.
Yeah.
Even though that isn't a vegan bakery she works at now, but she's like a crazy baker, and she's
that's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So you'll see her post up some crazy stuff that
all the kids are into different ththings.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
She's a phenomenal cook, actually, too, as far as being a vegan cook.
So she's cooking at the house too.
Oh yeah. So it's usually her or I cooking.
So cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. What a journey you've had.
Yeah, dude.
In life.
It ain't over.
It ain't over. Still out there doing it though.
Yeah, of course.
Keeps us young, man. We're very, very lucky to keep doing this shit. And actually, people caring.
Keeps,
you know what I mean?
Keeps your mental health.
It does. If we didn't have this, as a release, as an expression, it's therapy.
Yeah, you see some of your friends get caught into these cycles, and I don't think they have the outlet to, grow more.
Yeah.
Keep growing.
Yeah, it's super important, man.
Yeah, it is.
Keep creating and reinventing yourself and
absolutely
having conversations like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks to everyone listening. Thank you for being here.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, brother. And we out of here. Peace. Bye. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos. I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swiped the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life, One Chance podcast is now with Removery. I have a code. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Over 600,000 removal treatments done. 100 locations, U.S., Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art peak-away laser technology, cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to the podcast, talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TOBYH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out.